rest for the first time since you've been able to
He's going to be
leave
out of
that
a job
hotel
after
room.
this.
Absolutely. Potter, hit me with the strats. They're going to be hitting up A strong.
Well, look, there's two frenzies on the back of Zand and Madsen. That tells you one thing. They want to get in the faces of these defenders that make things interesting. The Sage Wall is already down towards tree. Zand, look at the aggression. Just popping shots through that Astra smoke. That should buy some time for the spike to go down.
Damn, that's a fast plan, Dash. Look at this. They want in, they want out, and they want this round one in their pocket, because I tell you what, if you want to bring the Sage and you want to be able to bring the frenzies, you got to get up in their faces. And speaking of, that'll be a deletion of multiple of the KRÜ players, as the frenzy will pop and the Sheriff will not.
What a positioning from Zand. And look at him. He's not going to stop. He's going for more. He's going to flame.
Why can I hear myself
cool?
in my microphone again?
Oh, what? Are we on? Hello? Testing? No, obviously. Thank you very much to the desk. You know, we ran over time a little bit. It's only fair they get their airtime, and they did a damn good job. As we come into round number 2, we just saw very innovative strategy over there on the pistol round from FURIA. And so now all they have to do is avoid getting wrecked by some of these upgrades. And in it, I'm looking at Nagset, who's now coming out of heaven. Unfortunately, not going to catch anything with the Marsh.
I try quite often to be avoid getting wrecked, but obviously you're not very good at that after what happened just then.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Tom. Yeah, I thought we were back to the games. Throwing me under the bus again. I see how it is.
I've got makeup for all the lost
You've been
time.
back for a couple hours, man. You're already leaning in. It's a nice clean round out of FURIA. It's exactly what we wanted to see realistically. But he's... Oh, no, lose a player! QCK almost went down to a turret. That could have been a disaster. In fact, look at this. The fact that QCK is finding all those kills, man, he is one away from his ult coming into the next round.
Try and fight very aggressively for at least one of these orbs. Now, the defenders will know this as well. You can already see KRÜ having a little bit of a gander just around that A site more specifically to try and make sure that nobody is going to be grabbing that orb. However, it doesn't look like it's going well, as they've been forced to fall back.
I mean, it's a very hard thing to balance, though.
Sure.
Because you want to go aggressive to stop them getting the orbs, but you don't want to go so aggressive that you give those Spectres an opportunity to deal the damage to you that they're looking for. So I can understand this from KRÜ, that early posture for a fight, and then eventually kind of go, nah, I kind of want to fight in the site. I kind of want to fight long range, and where your utility isn't going to harass me. Now, KRÜ on this defense are super passive. They're playing back on A and B side. They're playing inside of Garden. It's kind of forced out. Oh my God, Zan's already on them. This guy, his pace in the round is unbelievable. And Madsen will even take down Delzik. Res available, rifles upgraded. This is looking like a, oh my God, they can't even deny the res.
Oh, it's gone beautifully, hasn't it? Almost as expected, you could say. Now it's down to Klaus and Kesnet to try and bring this one back. Klaus is going to find one, dismiss, get back out of the corner, and bring this one back into contention. It's still a pretty awkward fight to take. The fact is, if there's no peek coming out from the remaining players, there's absolutely
FURIA, and exactly what we've come to expect from this team.
For sure. For sure. They are looking impressive once again, and we need to see a response. Now, this round, the likelihood, fairly slim. Not a whole lot available at the moment for KRÜ, and it looks like we're about to see an almost identical take once again. Drone going through, Zan likely to follow it in just a moment, trying to take that extra space. Dash, we've seen this multiple times now. He's doing the same thing again and again, and well, at this point, I don't really see why not. If he's getting away with, what, a 5-to-1 KD while dashing into a site, he's gonna keep doing it.
Oh, wow, okay. Delzik is, he just got an angle on that, right? The smoke disappeared. It was a little late pulling up the second one, so he could line up his crosshair and just fire away. And as we all know, even Screams confirmed, that Arcane Sheriff just hits differently. The accuracy is up. I don't know. Locks on to players.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen El Diablo using it as well, so that's not confirmation enough. Delzik's managed to find another one. This is starting to get a little bit shaky. The last few rounds have been solid. The lineup from Khalil, though, is already going to drop another. He'll be the last man standing, looking to try and fight this back, and he's just buying so much.
I really like the ideas. Oh, never mind. We don't get time for that. Nagset's already getting aggressive. He's trying to get out of here now. Cloudburst put down, but in comes Zan. Not going to check the corner. They don't believe he's still there. Blindly firing away in the corner. Nagset's taken down eventually. Just too much utility coming his way. But the fact that Mazzino falls as well, that's a disaster. Have they spotted Kesnet in the corner? It doesn't matter either way. The smokes come up. The execute's not going to happen. But in a 5v3, FURIA aren't going to be too upset about their pace being interrupted.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because considering this has been almost an A push every single round, KRÜ gamble that they're going to push into B, and they still lose all of the fights. So it's a good read from KRÜ. It's just the, well, I guess the execution of it that doesn't actually work out. Now, they have managed to find one back. bringing things at least into a workable position. They've got a couple of ultimates online. Cosmic Divide for a retake, and as you can see, Kesnet's already given up the site. This is almost the plan at this point.
Yeah, you're going to just try to pick off one or two as they come out, at least grab the information. And yeah, with the smoke up, I mean, I guess he was just...
What? Did he use where they shot the Lear from to come back? If he did, he is a genius. Like an actual genius. Or he's just incredibly lucky. Either way, we end up in a 3v3, and I don't think they care which one it is.
Oh my god, that was actually insane. Now Delzic's able to pick up Zan. Coming around the corner, he'll get another! And it's all on to QCK. No 1v3. Oh, what?
If he'd got...
there were at least 2 Phantoms left in the 3v3, but either way, still incredible that he gets that kill, regardless of whether it was planned, orchestrated, or not. A little bit more impressive if it was orchestrated, for sure. But that gave them exactly what they needed to fight their way back in with a first round on the board. We're going to have that operator come out on Maxit, and this is scary. He's around mid, and he's looking for some duels.
Well, I think they know where Naxit is. He's taken a fair bit of damage, at least in the early portions of this round, just from a turret. But he knows that they're in this corner, doesn't connect the shot, and that allows both players to escape. Unfortunate that the Jets unable to get anything done. You have to bear in mind the double duelist means they do have to be this little more aggressive than what we see on the other side with the just extra pieces of utility. A lot of them made vulnerable, but the vulnerability doesn't really do too much. We will see just trades back and forth. Naxit, Kesnet coming up big. And now just one man standing.
Oh, okay. Oh, because, okay, that's why. Zan's going to be playing. Zan's going to be playing with a shorty. If he gets a kill with this, I'm going to hate him. Oh no! I don't believe what I've just seen. This is just disgusting, man. It really is. Oh, he's got a Phantom now.
If they manage to do something in this round, and there's a very real chance that they will.
Grab well shorty in a dash. It's such a cheap kill, Tom. It's such a cheap kill.
Revealing area.
A little bit risky. Pushed aggressively to try and bring this back, but if he gets pincered here, it could be a problem. He's got to try and escape, and he does have a little bit of support coming through from Kesnet. They are just looking to try and hunt this man down, realizing an extra gun would definitely be beneficial, and instead, they're just going to rotate past him, head their way in towards B. Now, there is some utility available to at least deny them. Instead, they're going to invest themselves the lockdown and just wait patiently for the players to leave the site.
Oh, that shock dart hasn't quite landed. Looks like they're gonna end up to... Oh no, that's actually a free spot towards the back of the site. They expect it. Kesnet's still able to get himself the first, though. Nags it in there in the Blade Storm, really blindsiding them, opening up the angle for Kesnet to...
Pro players, it's
exactly.
not
It's
embarrassing.
not bad. It's not bad,
I think
Tom.
the manner in which he did it to you.
All right, listen,
was
relax
a little bit more
yourself.
embarrassing.
Relax. We don't need to talk about it. 3-4.
Humiliation.
KRÜ are doing really well right now. In the last couple of rounds, sure, the previous they end up losing 2 players, but considering the manner in which FURIA did it, I think that's acceptable.
Used it. The fadeaway smoke just to get another player across into the corner. Naxit's aggression has been expected. Let's put it that way. FURIA haven't fallen for it in the majority of rounds. I also want to point out in the last round, that rotation was so risky from Kesnet just to go to the back of the site and basically just go, I'm better than you.
Yeah, actually there was a moment where I think he considered, they were playing off the contact of the player who was in spawn, and I think Kesnet was considering popping a flash to get out or to fight on the shot, but instead he decided to go backside, take that duel alone, and hell, it worked out.
Yeah, I think that's the thing with him is just like, he has these individual plays that most players wouldn't be able to pull off, but he can.
But I also have to give props to Naxit. I feel like he called it. Like, I've played Storm, just like distract them and I'll come in and help. And hey, it worked. We're looking at an AX act that's going to come in quite quickly. Look who's tucked in the left corner, though. Completely unexpected. Great Hunter's Fury to find the first Delzik being returned on. He's dancing around and trying desperately to survive as FURIA fight for the site. Only the 1 kill to come their way. Rez will be deployed.
They've got to break their own wall.
They've got to rush in.
I almost wonder if they just saved now.
There's a short play. No, they're not saving at all. The short players are rushing it. Only going to find the one here. Mazzino well able to... I didn't expect to come out of this liking KRÜ and being a fan of KRÜ, but here we are. been enjoying their gameplay. They're already at 4-4, building up a couple of rounds. Let's see what else they can do as we come back into the game. We're going to see another unsuccessful early duel. I don't think Naxit's really found anything with this op in the early round here in Ascent.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It hasn't really affected them too much in the majority of rounds, but we are seeing that there have been occasions where they could have had an easy early advantage. Now, in a round like this, I wouldn't really worry too much. Like, you're looking at pistols, although they've now got a blade. They had a blade storm. It's gone.
Blade Storm used to try and counter the Sova who was down below. They knew Mazzino was there based on the shock darts, so I don't blame the angle that he took. You just don't really expect a second player to be towards the stairs, so that's going to be an unfortunate ultimate thrown into the wind and not really finding anything. But Khalil trying to get a little bit of a scrim out towards mid. And he's going to have an opportunity in a second, but look at that. Kesnit's winning the duel. You can barely even see him.
Well, it sort of comes down to damage, ultimate orbs, all they're really hoping for. Anything from this round for Furia, but
Around 5K plus for the majority of their squad, and that is a strong position to play with, especially when you've got these ultimates now coming online, and when you've got Nags and finally finding success on that operator.
They have, however, spotted Delzig up close. Now, this smoke might just be an attempt to try and escape out of this position when your team already has the opening duel. You don't really want to be going for any more battles, and in fact, just going to fall off the angle. So they're more working off the position of Zand. Now, he's got deep, but they've actually already closed the door. So they're almost looking at this as a plan like, all right, you can have that deep mid control. We've got Klaus watching to make sure that you can't get any further towards the spawn. And until that door is broken, which of course gives the information away, they don't have to look at this angle at all.
For Furia with 50 seconds going back in, obviously a big problem is going to be that door for Zand breaking it open, getting in to help out his teammates. They're going to smoke it off, even though they have control. That's a big fake. At this point, you're not expecting Zand to be around mid, because why would you? They've smoked it off. But Naxit's still going to hold it. Patiently waiting. Maybe that info wasn't conveyed over or even spotted by that defensive side, so ultimately it comes to nothing. They're going to have to break this door open and push in with 25 seconds left.
Also seeing the Cosmic Divide, they're going to have to try and run through it. Kesnit popping the Empress, giving him a chance to just frag out. Now they are actually going to use it to try and get the plant down themselves, and NCR has managed to push through. The problem, however, is they are somewhat surrounded. Zand gets one before he dies, but the plant still hasn't gone down. They have to do it here and now, and even just the time delay has worked out for the side of KRÜ.
Delivering on a level that, frankly, I have never seen from them before. This is beautiful.
The main thing I think as well is before they relied way too much on individual plays.
Yeah.
But now they seem to have these like cool little ideas. Like you bear in mind that in terms of flashes on the other side, there really isn't any. So putting down a Cosmic Divide forces you to run through it dry if you want to try and face off of it. It's just a clever piece of utility that could have bit them if they weren't aware of what their opponents were currently doing. Now we're going to see drones on both sides spotting for information. Again, it's a bit of a mixed bag. Obviously, the rifle save from the previous round for NZR is something a little bit different, but other than that, it's mostly just going to be pistols alongside a solo Spectre for Zand, which in this A site, in some of the earlier rounds, was really effective at getting them entries. Since then, and since rifles have come online, not so much.
Yeah, it's definitely been a little bit shaky.
Ahead.
Still in a recoverable spot for Furia if they can find the solution to this problem. Where is this wall going for QCK? Is this going to be... Oh, not quite the peak coming out of Zand as he falls. Delzig steps inside the smoke, takes down two, and these pistols will get very little done. Eventually dealing with Delzig purely because he ran out of ammo.
Yeah, Mazin, of course, was just trying to set them up with utility elsewhere on the map, so had a late lurk in, but with no real entries into the site. He just has to die here, or retrieve that rifle that his teammate had just moments ago. Surviving with this pistol just is not an option.
No, absolutely not. He's just going to run in here.
Then it seems like KRÜ have had a much better read. And they've also just had Naxit in a lot of rounds, just getting aggressive. And okay, sure, he hasn't got the kill the majority of times, but he has found out a lot of info.
It's fun to see. Oh, that's big. He ran out of ammo, though. That's a big shame.
They had 3 ops at the start of this round.
You got plenty of cash, right?
That's how much credits are currently available for KRÜ.
Drone destroyed. That's great. Mazzino hasn't been spotted now. but KRÜ are going to give up a little bit of this control. It looks like he might actually, Mazzino might be setting up to go for another wallbang here if the drone manages to find a tag. Kind of difficult for FURIA to get any sort of control on this one. They're just waiting for that to come through at any moment, and it's never really pleasant.
Fallback from the attackers. They really don't have any ground at this point. They've almost just been cornered into the backside of mid. Like, this is a horrible position to be in because so much control has just been taken. They've heard multiple op shots fired. Like, I think Kesna even tried to bait that the operator is now in middle just by shooting a shot through the smoke and then running away with his rifle.
30 seconds left.
There is very little to none information currently there, and Dowzik, that timing was spot on. He's going to find, okay, that wasn't, but I guess at this point it really doesn't matter. 4 versus 2, he has the spike, he's going to run into that operator. Round's already over. It's
8 rounds in a row, 9 very convincing. They have looked in control. That is just a fact. And
oh, it's the
that's not great.
instant trade. Not even the, like, there was a set, we haven't ever, never mind.
Never mind, it's even. Still, for FURIA, this pistol would be invaluable. A questionable half lies ahead of them. Obviously, now KRÜ being on the attack, it completely resets what we've been talking about. But just with the form and the control that they've had over this map, it's hard to imagine that things are going to spiral out of control so drastically. This defensive side of FURIA, they really want to walk away with this one. And you can see that in the fact that they get aggressive on mid, but they don't want to full commit to it. Instead, they're going to fall back, play 2-2, and leave mid open. That was a door closing, I think I just heard.
Yeah, I think that's on the A side, right? Did they close that as a retake? It looked like it, but I saw either that or it was just pinged on the map and we heard the other one. Because I think somebody just pinged it maybe as a warning sign. Now, 4 players currently gathering up. This A site was definitely the point of contention in a lot of the early rounds, and already we're seeing the isolation of some of those players just looking to come through and to get that door closed. But they're going to have to watch it.
Yeah, with that smoke down, obviously these players can just come barreling on through.
I think they broke the door. I think yeah, they did.
Yeah.
That's what it was. They broke the door after closing it.
Broke it.
And so then that's why they're having to actually keep close on this position, because they can't actually close it. It may not actually matter. It may end up helping Dowzik to find kills. Who said the right click of the classic is dead?
FURIA, the Brazilians, really not feeling it.
Kesnet looking to lead the charge. Now, there are multiple shorties. There is one shorty. Can you stop killing people with shock darts before I finish my sentence, Mazzino? That's back-to-back rounds that he's done that.
Yeah, they saw him go into the corner, so Mazzino was just taking those opportunities every night of the week.
After finding the opener, they're just falling back into this default. I think they realized that, especially with some of the weaponry they've already spotted, that this is likely to be more aggressive positioning taken from FURIA, and well, they can hope to just bait out any small pieces of utility that they currently have, which, as of right now, is 1 dart.
Not ideal to try and push into a site, especially having that shorty. If you want to try to retake, you're not playing all too well on that. So stacking it up, looking to defend this one out, and they've already lost their first. They'll stack up in heaven. It's Mazen that's kind of the danger man here. They haven't spotted him on the back side, and well, never mind. He's been dealt with, and this round is clean for KRÜ.
QZK hoping to at least maybe get an ult.
But right now, it looks like KRÜ are just speed running Ascent.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised in the veto that we didn't see them actually pick up Breeze, just because of how, well, they beat Sentinels on that map. So I was expecting that to be the choice. They went for Ascent. I was hopeful that we would see something of the same as the last. Instead, it has just been domination. Nice little crossfire, though. Timmy even going to be pulled out. Not that it really matters. While considering this is a bonus round, this is still looking incredibly clean. And, well, they're about to break that 10-round streak.
Yeah, I mean, not too impressive doing it up against the bonus. If they lost to the bonus, then we would be basically just looking at the next map. So this was
although normally we talk about opportunities here for KRÜ, realistically, this is just a normal buy round.
Yeah, I have to agree. Comes to the problem with one of those lower buy rounds going so poorly, I was kind of interested. Nagzit went for like an immediate dash in that previous round with the Spectre in hand. Ended up just sitting in the, like when he finished the dash, he was just in the middle of the open. Got absolutely destroyed. Still some nano swarms there. It's going to cause a couple of problems for KRÜ in getting in, and Nagzit almost loses his life early again. I think his early rounds have been either unimpactful or very negative. It's like the one where he found the kill with the AWP is the only thing that stands out in my mind as a positive. I think he's been having a tough map, considering they're doing so well as well.
Yeah, the thing is, though, I agree in the sense, I think, early rounds, but because he hasn't been dying, like, that's the one thing that's actually worrying for me, is that I feel like Nagzit has missed a fair few early shots, but he's not being punished, and then he is punishing them in the late rounds.
Later on, exactly.
So it's almost like it could have been a very rough game, and it should have probably been, but it kind of hasn't, because FURIA haven't done enough to actually punish these aggressive faces they've had. Now, the time, Mitch, is ticking all the way down. They're looking to try and execute through mid and move in towards this B site, but already they have lost that opening duel. Still, though, with only 2 players to defend it and the others very far away.
It's already 10-7, 10-8, 10-9 until they're buying up again. Things get pretty tough at that point. The mental game really starts to swing against you when the team equalizes up, and that's where we're probably going to see another pause come out. So next round's going to be super important. This one here, don't expect KRÜ to win, but they got to walk out with like 3 kills. Make this costly for FURIA.
Well, they've already spotted out that saved rifle. Bit of a bait and switch here. Actually, in fact, it's bait, switch, and switch. There are 3 players currently around this position. I don't think there's going to be any way they're expecting this sort of angle. And look, there is no way that they expect NZR still to be here. They're actually still holding the angle, but then the peak comes through into mid. You want it cost. Even though the setup looked almost flawless, they've now taken down 3 players.
This is ridiculous. You're left into an even 2-on-2, a Hunter's Fury to play with post-plant. Spike still needs to be retrieved, but it should be.
I have the spike.
I'm not sure if Dalzik's going to be able to get a weapon with the door closed now. I think that's going to be off limits. But even still, this is a very, very strong place to play from for KRÜ, considering they came into the round and should have lost. You know, they should have walked out with 2 kills, maybe 3. And instead, they now have a real chance to win this one out. In fact, that turret's not going to spot the player up close. Mazzino not able to get it done, and Khalil clutches it out. A very close round. Yeah. Oh, I 100% agreed. They're basically about to close it out if they just hit 1 more shot on that. But you got to say, even to find the impact that they did, it puts them on a pedestal now. Coming into this round where QCK takes a very aggressive peek and gets no reward for it. FURIA, a man down to start it off. This is the round we said KRÜ really want to win, to stop FURIA from making that comeback in, to stop the foot from going through the door. It's not started out well.
Yeah, you can see that as well, both extremities of the map are now being pressured. They want a response, and they want it quickly. And on the other side of things, I think this is what KRÜ has done so well so far, is they have just not panicked. The second they get any of these openers, the swing should be coming, and that's just all too easy. They almost expect this aggression at this point, and FURIA just falling into their own trap. NZR, this looks like a desperation ult, and he comes close, but it's not achieved anything.
I think that was called off the back of Mazzino being so low to try and remove that Hunter's Fury from the round and get a pick. It ends up damaging Nags. It nearly takes Mazzino down. He'll survive. And with the trades coming in favor of KRÜ, they've got a 4 versus 2 as they plant that spike on A.
Spike planted.
Not quite on spot. Moving around the generator. This is aggressive from NZR. Well, his teammate, Operator, not really sure there was anything he could really do here. I'm also intrigued to know the financial position of FURIA, just because they only had 1 player survive in the last round. They bought an Operator into this one alongside the remaining rifles. Weapon missing for Nagzit and just using a Blaze Storm instead, so I guess that's why.
That's Nagzit, Blade Storm dashing, and again, this guy is so aggressive on the jet in the early round, and it's finding dividends almost every single time. It's seriously impressive the amount that Nagzit is able to do. As they now cross over towards the site, they're being spammed at by that Operator, but it will find nothing. FURIA again face a difficult retake.
Yeah, they do, however, have a lockdown. So they're going to try and just force these players out of position. And fact, both teams have decided to do exactly the same thing. Just waiting the other out. We'll see if anybody actually gets trapped, but it's going to be the space looking to be taken.
Oh my God!
5 players have been detained across both teams? What is that?
I have literally never seen this before. The double lockdown, double
It
trip.
was a nice attempt, but yeah, that was very, very peculiar. Maybe losing their one versus the other team's one, and it just ended up weird. But hey, I'm sure FURIA are going to be taking that all day long. And look how bad the buy is. This is why they wanted to do damage in the previous rounds. Wall timing is everything. It's going to be broken relatively quickly, but that gives so much information over to QCK, now knowing that there's players around this spot. And while what was being attempted as a fairly pacey take has been slowed to a halt.
Yeah, absolutely. I think KRÜ are going to... Well, normally they would think twice about going towards this angle, but they've set up for an A take. They want to commit to this. And so dealing with QCK is going to be the big thing. Can they actually manage to find this duel as they come around the corner, at least the trade? Klaus already down. It's time to move through short. One has already been spotted. The smoke goes up. QCK falls back. And they concede the control. Allow them to move towards this site. But they'll punish Nags who got a little too greedy. Oh my God.
What?
They've got the site, they've got upgrades, and now all of a sudden a round that started out in spectacular fashion for FURIA is very much up for contention again.
There's a res, but it's kind of in spots where you can't really do anything about it. So it almost becomes irrelevant until you manage to clear out these players on the site. And at that point, well, you don't really need the res anymore. The angles also been playing close. And although there's an operator picked up for Delzik, it's not really going to be too valuable here. He's just going to stick to his pistol, and they are trading things out effectively. This weak purchase looks so rough to begin with. It's now left on to just NZR. He has to try and make the play through. He jumps over the top to find himself one. Going to end up with the damaged economy. A stinger, a couple of judges, and, well, the rifles at least on the remainder. They do still have a res available for this round, but I think I'm a little bit more worried about the Empress, knowing that Kesnet will have the opportunity to heal and dismiss infinitely is a tiny bit scary.
Oh yeah, definitely. The double judge play, though, is always on the defensive side. My God, it's scary. But for FURIA, it's scary to be defending the whole map with it as well, having to use these double judges. And it's going to be a very stagnant hold. Not surprising at all, considering what's in it here for FURIA. The weapons that they have don't really allow them to get aggressive on any of these angles. They've just got to wait for KRÜ to fall into their arms and hope they hit the shots when they do.
Yeah, they've been using a lot of delay tactics thus far, especially QCK. So already his wall will fall, but with only 45 seconds left, some space needs to be taken. It does look like they're going to go walking straight into the judge. The first kill comes for free, but there should almost definitely be a trade. No, he hits the shot anyway. Nags it with 2 back-to-back, looking to put this one in the grave. 30 seconds left. Now for the defenders to try and do anything. The plant coming through on the A site, and well, this might not be pretty, but even the time being bought is worthwhile. This is going to be a rough one, and Mazzino, that's just filth.
Yeah.
Has the timing to get that kill.
He knew they wanted the weapon, right? That's a good little lurk out towards the bottom of mid. NZR is dead, and it looks like Khalil might be done for here. He'll find the first, but still 3 more to go. That was a damn good attempt.